Hello there, and we are live. See ya, ladies and gentlemen. You are welcome to another episode of the Dal and Claude Show. See ya, people. I know I've not been putting up shows yet. I mean, I've been so busy. I mean, even my assignments at Sarcasm TV, I mean, I've not been there for a long time, and of course, I'll be going on vacation quite soon. I don't think I'm gonna be there till August. North side, I don't think I'll be there till August. But I mean, today I just had that glimmer of chance to just do a show, and I said, you know what? Yeah, I'm gonna share it with my brother Dal. And you know what? Yeah, people, you can see the headlines down there. Yeah, Arsenal hasn't signed no striker. Talks with Gyokeres broken down. Nicolas Williams has, is choosing Barcelona over us. Right. We also have the third topic coming up for you guys, which is Barca Watkins linked to Arsenal. But see ya, people, with me down here today is my co-host, my brother, my bro. See ya, people. Welcome to the show today. Dal, talk to these people. He gets a po, my brother. Po. He gets the po. You're welcome to the show, brother. How are you doing, man?
I'm doing great. It's kind of the start of summer, mid-June. Can't really complain. The kids are home from school, and wifey's on vacation till the weekend, and so we're just kind of hanging out. I'm still working, of course, but great to join you. I know you've been gone for a while. You've been busy, which is understandable. We all have lives outside of football and YouTube, but big up everyone in the chat. Thanks for hanging out today, and thanks again, Tony, for the invite for the show. And we got to dive into this, bro, because teams are making moves.
We got to dive into it. But just before I dive into that, big up to Oregon, of course, guys. You guys know he supports my channel, even if he's my friend. He says, big up the charts. Other man is down here. He says, Tony, where can I find your IG? See ya, people. I'm off IG for now. I need a breather from IG. I mean, how about that? I'll be back by the end of July to IG. Other man, I'm sorry, man. We should keep contact because, of course, he's my friend. Other man, big up to you. I was in the Study Cup with him, the biggest female tournament in the world. It was held in Finland. And, of course, me and Other man were officials down there. In that tournament. Big up to Other man. Yeah, my young friend. RD Rory is in the house, my funny guy. Go to his channel, go subscribe to his channel. Red RD, he says, good to see you back, brother. And good to see you, RD, man. You know, it'd be nice to have our watch-alongs with Josh in the upcoming new season. I haven't spoken to Josh in a long while, but me and him, we get through the modalities for next season because we have to plan ahead big. And congrats to you, to your channel too. You're moving on. Josh, Josh is blowing it out the water. Big up to Josh. Jay Tapi is here, says, big up Tony and Dal. What the F is up with forwards, making it difficult to complete signings? Gyokeres, Oshimen, Williams, Etikite, Gittins, etc. Sign the thing. See, Dal, I'm gonna allow you to talk uninterrupted. Hammers football is down here. Big up! Oney is in the house. It says, big up Tony, Claude, and Dal. Yeah, big up to you, Hammers Football TV. Go subscribe to Hammers Football TV. Guys, he's doing well on his channel. Come on, guys. He's doing well. Go, show him some love on his channel, yeah. Dal, answer, straight question. Look at what Jay Tapia 93 said to you. He says, why are these guys not signing the thing? See, I'll give you a little bit of a background to it. It's simple as that. The talks with Gyokeres has broken down. Dal, talk to us what you think about what's going on. You heard the rumors about Gyokeres and about how he publicly said, hey, you know what, yeah? I want to come and play at Arsenal. God damn it, I've even done the job for you guys. I'm even saying I'm not going to go with my former manager, Amorim, at Manchester United. F all that. I want Arsenal, and yet the talks have broken down. Talk to these people, my brother, uninterrupted.
Well, number one is that why didn't we pull the trigger earlier? Why are we waiting again? City making moves, Liverpool making moves. I'm sure Tone's already linked to a few players and Hammers. I think, Tony, if you got some players going out on Hammers Football TV, put that in the comments. Chelsea making moves, City signing 3 players in the first 2 weeks. I mean, again, we're waiting on something that's probably not going to happen anyway. You know, and I noticed that we didn't say much about Sesko either, right? As far as I know, those talks have died down too. You know, I'm just at the point now where it's one of those things that we have to wait again, and we won't hear anything till August, right? These guys are going on vacation soon, right? Or they're playing in some, niggly tournaments around, or they're doing something. But what they're not doing is signing the thing for Arsenal right now. And I don't know if it's a Berta thing or an Arteta thing, or it's hard for me to think that the talks have completely collapsed, but I know that Sporting Lisbon has been raising their price, which has angered Gyokeres quite a bit. He's come out with a public video expressing his frustration with the president of Sporting and so forth. I think they've raised the price. I've heard to 80 mil in one commentary. I've heard 70 mil, 75 mil, but then I always thought it was 60, 65 mil. So if Sporting's playing a game with us, I don't want to play a game with them, Tony. I want a price, I want a decision, and I want a signature, and I want this kid holding up the shirt. Gyokeres, to me, was our number one target over anyone. Despite what we heard about Sesko, I still think Gyokeres was number one, and I still think Berta's leading that charge because we know that Arteta is after Sesko in some way, shape, or form. And that's the thing. Why isn't Sesko signed yet? If we've been talking to him since January, Tony, since 5.5, 6 months. And again, we come to a brick wall where we don't know what to do because we think we're better than everyone else and clubs should lower their prices for Arsenal. It's the same crap we went through with Luis Suarez and the $40 million and $1 bid. It's the same, negotiating sort of BS that we've had from Edu, who doesn't know the European market that well. And then now we're at a crossroads to where, you have players coming out on social media saying, I want to come to your club, and we can't get it over the line, just like we can't get a title over the line. It's the same sort of ethos where we can't finish anything properly normally. Like everything has to have some sort of stumbling block. And again, it's not only the transfer market, it's how we compete in cup competitions. It's the ethos of the club, Tony. I don't know what to say much anymore. We bring in Berta. He starts in February, and he brings us Kepa for $5 million. I mean, is this the sporting director that we're asking for? And I know many Arsenal YouTubers have been asking questions of Berta. And my defense of him has been, well, some of these, negotiations were before him. Maybe he doesn't want to insert himself on pre-negotiations or something.
You know what, Dal? We will come back because I have a special question for you based on the sporting director. We have to talk about him specially. I mean, I've sampled opinions from my friend, my brother, actually, waffle.tv. Guys, go subscribe to that channel, my brother too. I mean, I asked him several questions about, in our last show, the Angry Goonies, about the sporting director, yeah. But you're gonna get to answer that. I just want us to creep in deep, yeah. I mean, let's go down the rabbit hole. Yeah, I mean, into this striker signing, this Gyokeres, Sesko stuff. Oregon Goonie, Mikel Arteta made it clear that he wanted Sesko. He made it clear that is his number one target. Yeah, we went to the table to speak to RB Leipzig. They kept on increasing the price. Probably they don't really want us to kind of like disintegrate the amount of money or the amount of installment we're going to pay into very lump sums. They want a sizable one that they could be able to, that's sustainable for them. and probably maybe Arsenal isn't going that route with them.
Right.
Maybe we're making the whole installments, over a long haul, and we're not meeting the evaluation that they want for their player. Last time I heard, Arsenal wanted to just go 59 in cash with them, but they're evaluating their player for about close to 89 million pounds. That's close to 90 million, almost 100 million euros. I don't think Arsenal's evaluation has met what RB Leipzig wanted. And that's why they're doing this shadow business in terms of like keeping one deal alive, like kind of like talking to the other striker, while making sure that they talk to the other one, just to sow discord, among these club sides to make them a little bit confused about who does Arsenal really want to go for. But I don't think any of those tactics are working.
Right.
To be very precise with you, Oregon Gunner, I don't think we had a transfer plan to start with in the first place.
I agree. I don't. Well, I think with regards to the Sesko deal, we know that Arteta supposedly had some sort of verbal communication and agreement with him back in January, right? And now it seems like RB Leipzig is raising the price. And it seems to be the same thing with Gyokeres. They want to raise the price. And, of course, Arsenal don't really play that way. If you state us 65 mil, we're going to come in with 60, right? You state us 85 mil, we're going to come in with 70, 75 mil. That's just how we work, right? Always trying to save a buck. But the fact of the matter is, Tony, we got $99.5 million for finishing in the semifinal of the Champions League. 99.5 mil. Now, as far as I'm concerned, Gyokeres is still a $65 million player, and I would say Sesko's around the same price. I don't want to overpay for Sesko, but I don't mind overpaying for Gyokeres, to be honest. I'm at this point now, give Gyokeres whatever he wants. He wants $300K a week, do it. We have the money, and it's not like we're buying value anyway. We still can't get Zubamendi over the line. He's not a $50 to $60 million player. He's a $40 to $45 million player. Let's be real. We're getting raked over the coals because we're an English club that has a lot of money. And, I don't want to fall in the trap of spending, but if we do, spend it on Gyokeres. That's where I want to see the real push from, not for a 22-year-old kid to boost Arteta's development ego, And the fact of the matter is, Tony, we have the money to get both. Let's get both.
But Oregon, we have up to nearly 232 million to spend. This summer. So why can't we just earmark about 100 million and say, okay, this is for a striker? Because we have 232 million pounds born in a hole. I haven't heard it's up to 300. The numbers that we can be able to spend. Yeah, I even heard it's up to 300 if we're able to do some outgoings, some deals that will take some players out. It could restrict to about 300, burning a hole, in the account for us to do deals with. So if we have that kind of transfer kitty, burning a hole in our account, why can't we just earmark 100 and say, okay, good, let's just go and get 100 million striker and bring him in. That's just half of our budget, and it's not bad because when you do some outgoings, some sales outgoings, you would be able to shore up more money to actually add to the remaining 132 million to be able to do other deals. Maybe like bring in a left winger for like about 60 million with add-ons, entering over 100 million. I don't care. With that, at least you can bring in a winger and maybe one more defender. How about that?
Right. Our store going to spend, you and I both, though, first off, we're not going to spend 100 million on a striker. If we're spending 100 million on a striker, it better be someone like Lautaro Martinez, a proven winner, Marcus Thuram. At this point, I would even.
If we could do it with Rice, why can't we do it? If we could do it with Rice, which is a very important signing at the time, an important position for us at the time. Why can't we do a striker for 100 million pounds?
we can, Tony. But at this point, I think if we get Sesko or Gyokeres, it's going to cost us 100 million pounds in the end anyway, right? Because you have the fees and the add-ons and all that stuff. So no matter what, the inflation is crazy. And Declan Rice, I'm sorry, is not a $105 million player. He's fantastic. He's one of my favorites, of course. But he's just not paid a tax on that. And I don't want to pay taxes anymore. But if I have to pay the tax on any transfer in the market right now, it has to be Gyokeres, bro. And it has to be Sesko. And that's what I mean. If we really want to win it and dominate, if we get Sesko and Gyokeres, I can almost guarantee we can lift a trophy. I'm not saying the Premier League, but we will lift something if we have two strikers that I still think are very, very good. I think Gyokeres is another level above Sesko, but I don't think Sesko is that bad. But I'm not going to be satisfied with Sesko because of the age, the inexperience, and I don't want to spend, 4 years. Gyokeres is 4 years older than him. That's 4 more years of European experience. I think if we do spend the 100 mil, it has to be on Gyokeres. I don't want it to be Nico Williams. The Zubamendi deal, Tony, could end up costing us 75 mil, right? In the end, a $65 million transfer plus the add-ons. So no matter what, we're getting raked over the coals, bro, because it's English and it's Arsenal, and these clubs know we have money. And again, Sporting's raising the price as we speak. I mean, I read today Atletico Madrid is in for Gyokeres. Now tell me, why would he take Arsenal over Atletico Madrid? I mean, Premier League, Atletico Madrid has Champions League football. Better manager. They have.
But in terms of wages, Arsenal might be able to offer him more. I mean, that's why he's leaning towards Arsenal, because not that Arsenal have the trophies to show him, but Arsenal have the wage power to display to him. He knows that Arsenal needs a striker. He knows he would get that shirt automatically because Kai Havertz can't score goals for us. He knows that if he can come into Arsenal, he'll be the king in that number 9 position, depending on how Mikel Arteta decides to use him. But all apart from that, check the trail, check the history. Arsenal, I mean, were like Santa Claus to all these corrupt players. I mean, look at the earning power of Kai Havertz. Look at the earning power of Gabriel Jesus. And these guys are losers, they're clowns. So if he's looking at those clowns and saying, oh my God, this guy's on 180, the other one is on, bro, these are top earners in the football club. He knows he's going to receive an astronomical wage compared to any other team that is looking out for him right now. And that's why he wants that move. Victor Gyokeres can't tell me it's because he loves Arsenal. No, I mean, Arsenal have the wages. Arsenal can foot that bill. But I'm just scared that Mikel Arteta is still having that war brewing in between him and Beta about who to bring in. I really think that that's where the war really lies in. I don't really think it's about the negotiations. It's not about the negotiation. The player has already said he wants in on Arsenal. The Sporting is willing to allow Arsenal come to the negotiating table. I just think the stumbling block is Mikel Arteta. And the reasons is that he's fascinated with this Sesko guy. Now, mind you, I'm not going to be that guy that would sit down here and say, I hate Sesko, or Sesko is a useless player. No, I'm not going to do that. I think he's a decent player. Is he what we need at Arsenal? No, I don't think so. But again, you also have to look into, will he fit into Mikel Arteta's plans more than a Victor Gyokeres? I think so. But because I still do think that Mikel Arteta might even still sabotage Gyokeres even if he comes down here. But anyway, throw all those opinions away. That's just my opinions. If we're going by the book, Victor Gyokeres has the superior goal. I mean, goal threat, goal scored in terms of what he has done in his league, trophies won and every good stuff. So if he comes down to Arsenal, it's the best thing that we do need. But I still do feel there's this feeling deep inside my heart that Mikel Arteta doesn't like this guy. He doesn't want him here. If he wants him here, trust me, that deal would have been
inconsistent. Remember, he came out before the Sporting game last season and said, "Oh yeah, we're looking at Victor, but we feel he's kind of inconsistent." He said that, and then of course we went on to beat him 5-0 or 5-1. Big up, why not? But the thing is, he's not inconsistent. 97 or 102 goals. I've heard a couple of different numbers that he scored over the last 2 seasons. And like you said, I agree. The data speaks for itself, right? The numbers speak for themselves. And I think that truly the Sesko links is because he wants Odegaard to float those balls in on the low block so Sesko can get ahead to him. I don't know what else he provides footwork-wise. I know I've seen clips he can dribble through defenders, but again, you look at the Gyokeres clips, they're twice as long as the Sesko clips on YouTube because there's twice as many goals, right? I mean, it's just I mean, you can watch these Gyokeres clips, and I said, you never want to just buy someone off YouTube clips, obviously, but when your eyes don't deceive you, I see Gyokeres getting the ball, in the half space or whatever, the attacking third, he can weave in and out of defenders and put one top bins. Sesko kind of moves it to the side, it looks different, right? And Gyokeres, he's fit, he's
I still have my reservations about Gyokeres, to be very sincere with you. I'm not totally sold. Guys, please, Oregon Gunner, don't forget that that's in the Portuguese league. I've not seen much translation from players who've come from the Portuguese league down to England and totally tear it up as a striker. I mean, the last I could remember is bro, I can't really remember. But again, as a pure number 9, I can't really see it. The last guy I saw coming down from there who tore shit up down there, the last time I could remember, was the guy that plays for Liverpool, for Benfica. What's his name?
Darwin Núñez.
Darwin Núñez. I mean, he was down there, and look at him; it's collapsed already. So I'm not totally sold on this Gyokeres thing.
He played for
and again, I remember how many crosses last season went begging for a header last season. I didn't see no headers. I didn't see no one take advantage of all those crosses.
December,
and Victor Gyokeres isn't such a prolific striker with his head. I clearly have a problem with a striker who doesn't use his head. Yes, I hear you. Gyokeres he's a fairy striker. I like him. He is my number 1 guy who I want down there. But there should be a caveat. It shouldn't be if he comes in, he's gonna tear shit up. No, bro. Mostly when we do have this manager, this bozo of a manager who doesn't improve attacking assets. We've seen it before, that Mikel Arteta can't actually improve attacking assets. Yeah, you could say whatever you want to say about Aubameyang in this Liverpool club, but after the first season, what happened? He couldn't replicate what he replicated in the first season when Mikel Arteta was there. Look at the other guy. Well, the guy from Lyon who came. What's his name? The second striker to Aubameyang. What's his name?
Lacazette.
He couldn't improve under this manager. Look at Martinelli. He couldn't improve under this manager. The only person who has actually just shown any class whatsoever is Bukayo Saka, and that's because he's a generational player. So this manager doesn't improve players.
Right.
Victor Gyokeres has some shortcomings that many people don't want to admit to it. Do you think this manager is the guy to bring the best out of Victor Gyokeres when we've seen him malhandle?
That's
our
really
players. Just look at our best midfielder play from right back position.
Right.
Look at how he sabotaged the career of Kylian Tierney. I can go on and on. Look at Kai Havertz from left centre mid, shuffled down there to a striker. Last season, Saliba was being considered to play in our number 9 slot. I don't trust the manager. There's a long line, there's a history of what this manager has done that makes it impossible for me to say, Victor Gyokeres is going to be a hit totally when he comes in. Let's be let's just have parliamentary kind of like procedures when we're talking about this thing. It's not a given when we see have this manager down here. I don't know about your idea.
No, I think you've covered all the bases on that one, Tony. There are reservations that people have for Gyokeres. I get that. And the number one thing is, that he did it in the Portuguese league. Again, though, if he scores half those goals that he did in one season of the Portuguese league, that's 25, 26 goals. Right? I mean, if he plays in the Prem and scores half, because
but none of those, but he didn't score. I don't think he scored a header in any of all those goals. He scored this past season.
Tony, but
he didn't score a header. And mostly I have a problem with the striker that almost half of his goals in the Portuguese La Liga were penalties. Almost half was nearly penalties. So I mean, let's exercise caution when we're calling him the goal beast. I think he's a goal beast, but he needs a manager who would also actually accelerate that movement to being that number 9 that we want him to be. And Mikel Arteta is not that guy.
Well,
but I want him to be in our football club anyway.
Good points. Number 1 being the manager. Was the manager going to coach the talent out of this kid or anybody for that matter? Maybe so, but you can't. Right? We know they're not getting rid of Arteta, so you can't not sign anyone, right? Just because Arteta's the manager, And to be fair, if you're Gyokeres, you're not following Arsenal YouTube, right? You're not really entrenched of what the club's doing on a day-to-day basis like a lot of us are. You're looking at a club in the Premier League that wants to spend money on you, and has finished second 3 years in a row and just beat Madrid in a semifinal. And I'm just playing the devil's advocate. If I'm Gyokeres, those are the things I'm looking at, right? I'm not looking at the inside turmoil that we talk about with our friends, Jez, Northside League Gunner, Acers, Hammers, etc. here to there, right?
Big up South to
doesn't know about that shit. He doesn't know any of that, right? He's looking at, Arsenal's finished second 3 years in a row. I can make a difference there, so we finish first. He knows we need a striker, which is obvious because it's in the fucking world news, right? And he knows that he'll get a nice pay package and have a beautiful place in London to live with his family. I mean, at the end of the day, you talk about wages, that's part of it. But I think as a prospective player, you're looking at, Arsenal are a good proposition for me because I can provide something that they don't have. And they finished second 3 years in a row. Granted, last season we got our asses kicked, but the 2 seasons before that, it was 6 or 3 or 2, 6 points. Right? And so I just think that if
I hear you. I don't think Gyokeres will want to come here for charity. I think he's here for the money. I think he wants to do what's right for his pocket.
He wants to win.
But I'm just saying.
I think he wants to win. Remember,
I don't think there's any loyalty. I just think it's about the pocket. Who is going to offer a bigger contract? Trust me, if Man City comes in and offer him a bigger contract, he's going there.
I don't know, man. I don't know. You're saying Gyokeres is just chasing the money? Is that what you're trying to say?
No, I'm just saying that the money is going to rule everything. Brother, man, of course you come from that school. Cash rules everything.
He's going to make more than right. He's going to make a lot more money in the Portuguese league. But Tony, who cares? If he's scoring goals and we're looking at a trophy, I don't care if it's 280 a week or 300. But if he doesn't perform, then yeah. But I mean, how many games did we give Kai Havertz? You gave him 10 games, if I remember. I think Jez gave him 10 games, and I was like,
Jez gave him 10 games,
right? What's that? I don't remember what it was back then, right? But let me ask you this: is Gyokeres better than Havertz? Yes. Is he better than Moreno?
Yes, of course.
Is he better than Jesus? Yes. And those are the boxes you need to check. If we can get better than what we have to get us closer to the title, go for it. I don't care if Gyokeres is a fucking, a chick man like Aubameyang was. Let's be real. Aubameyang chased signed the thing anywhere for a paycheck. But at least we know Aubameyang gave us something, right? He gave us some goals at FA Cup, and who's to say Gyokeres can't do the same? But the thing is, Tony, I don't think Gyokeres is enough. I said he can dribble through defenders and he can put one top bins, and I think you would agree with me and the Arsenal fans in the chat. Gyokeres ain't enough, bro. It's not like we're going to get a striker and he's going to hit the ground running and put 30 or 40 goals in the back of the old onion bag. You and I know that's not going to happen. If he gets 15, that would be great. But we got to look at City, who just bought 3 players for 130 mil. We got to look at Liverpool, who are in for Isak right now, and Gyokeres, and just bought Florian Wirtz. So to me, it's more about keeping up with the competition than worrying about the money, right? Worrying about if it's Sesko and Gyokeres. If we had any real balls at all, we'd buy both because we have the money for both. Again,
Oregon Gunner, what is really the problem? Because I had this argument with our brother, waffle.tv. Guys, go subscribe to that channel. We're talking about this thing here. Why is it that all these football clubs can do business and do business cheaply? I mean, I've seen Manchester City do business, and bro, they're not. It's not like they're being milked out here. I mean, and they've won trophies. They're the ones with the chic money, bro. Right. They are the ones that have this money on deck.
Yeah.
They have all the whole choppers on deck.
Yep.
By the way, Arsenal don't have any of these choppers. We don't have no trophies, bro. Okay, you could say we were the highest earners this past season. I hear you, but it's not like in terms of accolades we've won so many things. So maybe the money is just so filled up in that account. I don't think that's the case. But these football clubs want to milk us out of everything we have. I mean, look at this Sesko deal. They're talking about 100 million. Bro, if Arsenal spend 100 mil on Sesko, I'll be pissed off. But Man City is doing this deal. They're bringing in the players for cheap. Look at Delap. He came in for 30 million pounds. If it was Arsenal that went down there, bro, they will be billing us probably maybe 60, 70. If it was Arsenal's negotiators that went down to Ipswich, let's don't lie about that. For Delap. Chelsea getting for 30 million, but if we go down there, it will be 70. So what is it? What is the problem with Arsenal? This is a direct question to you, Oregon Guinea. Why do all these other teams, even teams that seemingly have more success than Arsenal over the last decade, they're getting players more sustainably than Arsenal would ever get? The world-class players we can get are the ones that were being overfleeced for those transfers, i.e. Declan Rice. You know he's not 100 million player. 70 tops in the world market right now. 70 tops. 69, 70 tops. That's what you get for a Declan Rice right now. We bought it over 100 million. I mean, I'm not shitting on Declan Rice, pause. But
of course not. It's not his fault.
That's kind of what he's worth in the market if you check it right now. So why is it that Arsenal actually have to overspend for these players we're going for, at least maybe nearing world class or trying to break into that scenery? But with Man City, Chelsea, and all these other clubs that have more accolades than us, they're doing more better businesses than us. What's really the problem?
The problem is that we haven't won shit in 10 years. And so as prospective players, right, you look at, who's been winning? Well, Chelsea, Tony, have won all 4 of the UEFA signified trophies. The Champions League, the Europa League, the Confederations Cup and the Nations Cup or something like that, right? They've won all 4. Right? Who's the club that are spending the most money? In reality, it's Chelsea because they keep buying players, but they have a good selling system. Yeah. They have a good loan system, right? So they have a real monetary system in the background that we don't talk about much because we don't care about them that much. But they have a real system that we don't have, right? And again, I think a lot of it is players knowing who the winners are the last 10 years. Obviously, City just clears the course of everybody. If City is like Madrid, if Pep calls, you go. It's that simple, you know. For some players, it's not like that. With Declan Rice, I think City were after him, but I think Declan Rice knows that he would not be the Declan Rice to Arsenal that he would be at City. He would have a totally different place. He'd be having a totally different play style, right?
But I'm extricating the players now. I'm talking of the football clubs, the negotiation with the football clubs. Why is it that the clubs want 100 mil from us in any transfers that we're talking about? But when it is Manchester City, that are presumably won more than us. So because somehow they have the money more than us. Yeah, technically. They've won more trophies, they have more profits, they've done all these things, yeah. But Arsenal that haven't really won anything, you know, any trophy of worth.
Right.
I mean, this last decade. Why do these clubs during negotiations want to fleece us? They want the final dollar. They want the installments reduced. Is it because of how we do business, or is it because we've disgraced ourselves so much in the business, or is it that we don't have competitive people to hold down this business side in terms of sustainability and negotiating power when negotiating with these clubs? And if so, why did we bring a new sporting director called Mr. Better? What is he doing to actually help us out?
That's a good question. That's a very good question. You ask questions that I don't personally have answers for. I guess my own opinion with that is desperation, right? I think we clubs know we are desperate for certain players, right? Or their players. Let's say Sporting knows it, Leipzig knows it, and now Real Sociedad knows it. We've been after Zubamendi for a year. 2 transfer windows have gone by, so we've missed Zubamendi. So yeah, big up Assembled. Big up everyone in the chat too.
Big up everyone in the chat. Aces, the Assembled, Hammers Football TV. I mean, all these guys, yeah, why not make a Lateta? Yeah. Big up to all these people, yeah. Big up to all these people. Nico Williams. That's our next topic. Right. Let's shift away from this Gyokeres talk. Nico Williams. I mean, Arsenal last season. Nico Williams. He didn't come to the football club. Bro, this summer again. More Nico Williams stories. Bro, right now, and I've heard that Barcelona have said that they are going to match his release clause from Athletic Bilbao. But the main problem there is that the player is saying he wants to go to Barca. He wants that Barcelona move. But Arsenal is presenting a more better wage structure and offer than what Barcelona has on offer. What do you think? But Nico Williams is lying and bending towards that Barcelona move. What do you think about this, Oregon Gunner? Yet another world-class player saying no to Arsenal. But it's still lingering because Arsenal is still dangling that offer in terms of the wages, of which Barcelona can't match those wages, actually.
Because Nico Williams is from Spain, his family's from Spain. They'll pay him still a very good package to live in Spain, and it's fucking Barcelona, bro. I mean, we are not pulling anyone from Barcelona if Barcelona's interested in them and Nico Williams there. That's a dead done deal. Nico Williams is going to Barcelona, and I rate the kid. I think he's good, but I think right now, Tony, what we need is experience, and I don't mean Leroy Sané experience, right? And I don't know what winger to bring in. You know, maybe like Adama Lookman. I'm not sure, right? I don't know. I know we've been linked to this Nusa guy, I think from was it Ajax or somewhere else as well?
Nusa plays for RB Leipzig.
Thank you. Yeah,
Nusa.
Thank you.
But bro, why? But wait. Why are we being linked to all these clowns? My days, bro. Why are we being linked to the scrubs of these football clubs?
I think
to the vomit of these football clubs, bro. Why are we doing this?
Williams, I think the media is trying to make the football media with the connections to Arsenal, Barcelona, trying to make out Nico Williams as being like the Spanish Saka, right? The Spanish Saka, basically. So we would have Saka on the right, the Spanish Saka, Nico Williams on the left, and whoever up front. And let's not forget this whole thing about Nico Williams. Again, we've been chasing him for a year, bro. We were linked to him in the Euros last year. This is the same shit we went through with Draxler in 2013. This is the same shit we've been through with, I don't know, put some names up there. Benzema, when we were linked to him when he had one unsuccessful season at Madrid. Benzema wants to leave. We're linked to Rodrigo. We ain't getting Rodrigo. They just got a brand new manager who says, I fancy you. Rodrigo goes, I fancy you. He ain't going nowhere.
But again, I fancy Rodrigo. I fancy Rodrigo than Nico Williams. I believe Rodrigo has what it takes to actually get us something in this league than Nico Williams. I don't think a Nico Williams will suit the kind of a game we play. And secondly, Mikel Arteta doesn't know how to develop forward. It's not in his wheelhouse. So I want someone who is a little bit more, who has a little bit more X factor in him, in how he plays. And I think that's where Rodrigo is. He's won lots of trophies. He can progress the ball. He can pursue the ball. He could get into tight spaces. He could create spaces of his own. He's a creator himself. He could get goals from the wings. He could slot straight into that left-hand side where we're having a bigger problem with someone who holding down that position. We could see Trossard messing and stinking the place up. We could see Martinelli completely, just stinking the place up in that left-hand side. We can have someone with big-time experience, even if it's a young guy. So, he can give us whatever we want and we still have monetary value just in case we want to sell him off later on in the next 3, 4, 5 seasons. So, that's the signing that makes sense. If they need 100 million for him, bro, knock on Real Madrid's door and give them 100 million for Rodrigo.
Yeah, I agree. Rodrigo to me is over Gyokeres, Sesko, Zubimendi, Nico Williams. He is another generational player, Brazilian wonder kid, all that, right? And let's be honest, he wasn't like frozen out of Madrid. Carlo Ancelotti's like, no, you're just going to play on the right side. He was still scoring goals on the right side. He was still assisting on the right side.
It was still pushing.
This whole thing about him wanting to leave Madrid because he played on the other side is fucking hogwash, bro. That is such bullshit journalistic reporting. It's so simple and simplistic. It's way more than that. If he really wants to leave, it would be a fresh, new challenge for this kid. A new environment, new country, new style of play, new everything. And that's a huge risk when you're basically leaving the number 1 club in the world to the number 19th ranked UEFA club. Let's be real. We're ranked 19th in UEFA, right? So if the money's there, if we can make that happen, I would prioritize that overall. But in the real world, Tony, you and I both know deep down that Rodrigo is going to have a Madrid shirt on come summertime. He is not coming to Arsenal. And I'm sorry if I'm breaking heart.
You just said it.
If he comes to Arsenal, it'll be the holy grail. It'll be one of the most sensational signings. But again, Rodrigo is not enough. He is not alone going to make us lift a trophy.
He's not
because
enough.
We have that fucking donkey. How's Rodrigo and Havertz going to play together?
Nah.
Right?
You have to have a prolific number 9. With Rodrigo. And again, see, because Rodrigo said something in the press. He said something like, if he's going to any club, he was talking about Arsenal in this case, that he wants to play. He doesn't want to play as a number 9. He wants to play as a winger. That is a natural winger. And this were clear shots to Mikel Arteta, who likes to shuffle things everywhere. The stories are being heard. All these players, like a defender who should come into the football club, doesn't want to go to right back. He wants to play in central defense because that's where he wants to play. That's his specialty. But this manager knows how to shuffle the park a lot. We move down. Look at what Here Today said before we go to our last topic and before we go.
Sure.
Tony, it's simply how Arteta has shown he will repeatedly overpay if he has to get a player, if he really wants them. Do you agree with Here Today?
Yeah, we will overpay, of course, but that player has to be of quality. And age, age isn't a number. Bullshit. It is a number. When you're investing 100 mil in an unproven 22-year-old, or you're investing 100 mil, let's say, in someone like Rodrigo, or 100 mil in someone like Gyokeres, those 2 out of 3 of those players will take you to another level. I believe Gyokeres will take us to another level. I believe Rodrigo will take us to another level. And I'm willing to invest in that, right? Because Rodrigo's a proven winner. Gyokeres is a winner. He just won the league with Sporting Lisbon, and I think their domestic cup last season or this season.
Yeah.
So he's got some trophies. And already we're talking 3 trophies. That's more than Arteta has. So and that's the thing, too, about Rodrigo. And I'm curious about you, Tony, and folks in the chat. Is Rodrigo too much of a big name for Arteta, right? Is Arteta going to be able to really tell this kid anything that he doesn't already know, that he can't already do? I need you to run the spaces. Well, no shit, right? Rodrigo, if Rodrigo comes in and Arteta tells him to do Arteta things, it still ain't going to work, bro. That's the whole thing. And that's why, to me, we need to.
And that's the problem, because we still have and I've been banging this point to lots of our, our fan base. Everyone is so excited and talking about this Gyokeres, and I'm like, hey, you know what? Yeah, you can talk of these prolific players all you want, provided we still have this manager down here. Right. It's not a given. I mean, we can all say, and that's why I'm very careful about criticizing Sesko. Right. You can say everything you want to say about Victor Gyokeres, is the scorer, is this, is that. Bro, we all know this manager. If he decides, okay, I'm going to play him through the wings, what are you going to do? And you can't deny that fact. You've seen him use players out of position.
Oh, I know.
If he does that, bro, he can literally do that. Our best midfielder played right back. Let that sink in.
Oh, yeah.
Our best midfielder played right back. And that guy doesn't even have no contract no more.
Right.
Bro, we've not heard about Thomas Partey's situation.
Right.
Arsenal's letting him slip. So, okay, good. But look at what the assembled said here. It says, Tony, Spurs winning a trophy is embarrassing.
I
mean, Oregon Gunner, I hope you took that in. I mean, that first sentence, yeah. Spurs winning a trophy is embarrassing. Let that sink in for a minute. Yeah? For Arsenal's fan base. But please, only in your head is Spurs the standard bearers. Bro, what are we talking about? They won the second highest European trophy. Bro,
let's remember
the standard bearers right now. At least more than Arsenal. And you know what? Yeah, they sacked the manager for getting them 17th. And they have a Thomas Frank, who I will gladly take in my football club. I answer the question, bro.
Oh boy.
I think they're standard now. How about that? I said it. I think Spurs is the standard now. They're showing more ambition than us. How about that?
That's hard to digest, bro, but you made some good points there. That's a very good comment, Assembled, and big up yourself, my king. Where to start with that one? Wow. We can't. First of all, I disagree with firing of Ange, and here's why. If I'm Ange Postecoglou, and this is part of his own fault, is I take a picture of that trophy, right? And I go in the next season, and I go in there August 16th, the opening day, and I show that picture to every one of the Spurs players in there, and I say, every game, this is what we're fighting for. And I think Spurs would come to their head and produce. But now with Thomas Frank, they're going to be better, and they're going to be better defensively. And they may
came 17th. It's unacceptable. Bro, me and you have been talking about standards. They came 17th.
Right.
We all know that was merely a fluke with which they won that. It was merely a fluke. So probably maybe their owners know about that. They understand that. Getting 17th in the league, it's
diabolical. It's diabolical. Right.
Bro, it's diabolical. Bro.
That doesn't guarantee next season they'll do that. And that's the point. That's why they fired him. They fired him.
On a good season, they're relegated. So I don't blame the owners for taking such a decision.
On
a good day, 2 seasons ago, 3 seasons ago, that's relegation.
Oh yeah,
bro, they lost about 20 games in a single season. It's enough for the sack. I mean, if you're sacking Ange Postecoglou, a new manager coming in.
He brought them the biggest trophy.
But again, a new manager who's coming in understands that, so this is the standard that bro, I mean, that's standard bearers, isn't it?
Let's not put standard and Spurs in the same sentence. I get what Assemble's saying, and because now we're under them in the European competitions. So they set the standard. But again, it was a shit match. The ball bounced. Yeah, exactly. That's a done deal. The ball bounced off Luke Shaw's arm. It's not like Brendan Johnson buried a worldie from 20 yards out, right? And it's not like they tiki-taka in the goal, right? I mean, it was a complete shit show. It was one of the worst UEFA Cup games ever televised, right? Had some of the lowest ratings ever televised. People were watching it just to see the mistakes. Nobody was watching that to see who won, except for Spurs fans and United scum. But other than that, bro, let's divert from them being the standard. The standard is that we have to compete in every single competition, outside the Premier League, in and out of the Premier League, in the local domestic cups, everything, right? And the thing is that we haven't even beaten Newcastle. And we're talking the Europa League. We can't beat Newcastle to lift a domestic cup. The lowest domestic cup in English football. We can't beat Newcastle. So,
pure fact.
The thing is, too, and I know we're wrapping up here soon, and I got a question for you, Tony, specifically. We get a striker. Where does that put Havertz?
I mean, bro, it puts him in the. It puts him in the bench. I mean, see, Oregon Guinea.
No, that's a trick question. Tony, is he going to bench 29?
I mean, bro, I don't trust this man, and that's what I said in the first bit. I don't trust the manager. That's why I think he wants to bring in Sesko, someone who he could say, "Hey, you know what? Yeah, let me partner you with Kai Havertz and see what happens." So I think that's what the manager wants to do. I don't still think that this manager wants Victor Gyokeres. I don't think so. He doesn't want him. But again, this is just my opinion. Yeah, I don't think he would drop Kai Havertz to the bench. I mean, at the tail end of last season, man,
he's not going to drop him.
He praised him. He praised Kai Havertz. He said Kai Havertz have shut out the old records in the gym records, in gym history in Arsenal Football Club. That's what he said.
I know, but he can't do a half turn.
Bro, I'm not lying to you. He said that. Mikel Arteta opened his mouth and said that. He said that Kai Havertz had shattered the whole gymming records in history of the gym in Arsenal. Bro, I mean, I've heard all this, bro, man. This is annoying, man.
So, Tony,
and again, that makes you think that, even if there's any incoming striker coming in, he would have to deal with this Kai Havertz debacle.
And that incoming striker may be benched for 20 minutes anyway. If Gyokeres comes in, there's no guarantee that this manager will play him in front of Kai Havertz. And even Gabriel Jesus, he's back. What are you doing
even here? Bro, I'm even still thinking that this football club could say, you know what, We have Merino. We could use him up top. If he's getting 7 goals, I mean, it's not a short period of time. It means he could get 27 goals. Bro, this football club can literally do that. With the way they're dancing around in the transfer window, I mean, they can literally do that, bro. It's not outside reality for Arsenal to think that they could use Merino next season as our striker. Bro, it's possible. These guys can do anything. Anything. Oregon Gunner, Ole Watkins, linked to Arsenal. That's the last topic. We'll soon be going there, guys. Ole Watkins. Yeah. Do you want Ole Watkins? I mean, Oregon Gunner, I wouldn't lie to you. I've always been a proponent for players in the Premiership. Right. I'm not talking of English players. I'm talking of players who play in the Premiership. I think these English teams know and understand how to do business with Arsenal. That's number one. I still think that these players understand what it means to play in the Premier League. They could actually get you what you want instead of going for all these, all these big names that necessarily don't like Arsenal. How about going for manageable names like Semenyo, who I think is a decent player? How about Mitoma? If you put him around that player with a structure that feeds him, he is gonna cook in an Arsenal team. Why are we not giving a look into all these Premiership players? Why? Semenyo will come in and do a job. Gordon will come in and do. Bro, Arsenal, we're moving like chickens. We're not giants. Bro, we're a small club. The way we're moving in the market, we're moving. We have that small club mentality. I mean, you have to go into this transfer window with a big mentality as a big club that we are. But we're going with this small little mentality, and it's not doing us any good. Ole Watkins to Arsenal, Oregon good.
It's not enough, but I mean. So this now becomes the debate. Do you take Watkins
for $1 million evaluation? For $1 million, it's cheaper. For $1 million, it's cheaper.
Many more, and right. He's if you compare him to Sesko, he's 29 compared to Sesko's 22 or 23. Actually, I think he just had a birthday. That's a tough one. I would take. Man, no, I don't want Ollie Watkins. Not good enough. Nope.
Not good enough.
No, I don't. I think he's one of those players that's a shining star on a bad team, right? Like Pedro Neto was on Wolves, right? A shining star on a bad team. And to think that he's going to be a shining star on a good team, I mean, because I consider us a good team. We're not great, but I consider us good, right? We're at least competing, but and that's debatable, right? But Ollie Watkins, I think he would have been. If we get Sesko or Gyokeres, I wouldn't mind taking Watkins as a second, because we need to replace Jesus. We need to replace Martinelli. Trossard. Martinelli, for me, he stays on the bench. He, plays a bit part. Trossard, you sell. Jesus, you sell. Eddie Nketiah is gone. We haven't really replaced. So I mean, do we get Gyokeres, Sesko, and Watkins, Tony? And that's again, I wouldn't have a problem with that because we need to win. Getting Zubamendi and Sesko isn't enough. Getting Gyokeres and Zubamendi, maybe Watkins, Zubamendi, not enough. And I've just thrown Zubamendi because we've been linked for him for ages, and that may still happen, doubtful. But I just think that no matter what striker we get, where does that put Donkey number 29? Thank you, here and there. Because if he's at left mid,
that's a big one. I won't even attempt that question, man.
And Rice is the 6th, right? And then, or there's a Party the 6th if we give him a year extension. So as of right now, we've signed Kepa for no fucking reason, and we haven't extended Party's contract. We don't have a striker yet who's fully committed. We don't have a left winger that's committed. And we don't know what Zubamendi's going to do because he did turn on Liverpool in the last minute at their medical. He was having a medical at Liverpool and said no. I believe.
Yeah.
I believe. I think he was having a medical at Liverpool, and then something happened with the transfer last season. That's why Zubamendi didn't go. However, if we end up, someone put in the chat earlier that it's going to be a Watkins, Rashford, window, right?
Oh my God, we're finished, bro. Bro, if any of these names you talked about, Watkins, I mean, I won't mind Watkins on the wing. I mean, on that left wing, I won't mind him. I won't mind if shit hits the fan and we can't get Rodrigo or Nico. I have no problem with having an Ole Watkins. I like the guy. I think he can do something. Semenyo is also a big probability too.
Semenyo has a big price tag.
I mean,
I heard 80 million for Semenyo. I just thought those guys were crack.
I mean, Watkins isn't really the top guy that was starving for, innit? He's not the top guy.
He brings up front. And remember, we got to deal with Odegaard and his passing, which is brilliant at times, right? We've seen what he can do, but it's only as against shit clubs. Like, he's Ghost-Odegaard because he's a ghost in the top 6, right? We praise him when he does well against Wolves and Palace and fucking Ipswich. But other than that, where do we get? And again, what is if we get Ollie Watkins? I don't think it's more of the same, right? Where Odegaard goes to the right to Saka, and Saka back to Odegaard to Martinelli, Martinelli back to Odegaard, right? I don't think Ollie Watkins is one of those players that's going to break through that type of play, right? What's Ollie Watkins going to do on a low block? And that's the same thing with Gyokeres. What's he really going to do? Right. And so then you look at Sesko, it's like, well, with Sesko, 6'5", can head the ball, can get it on the ground. Yeah. And again, I'm not saying that he's better than Gyokeres or Watkins, but I think Sesko does provide something different. But that depends on how Arteta wants to use him. Right. And I still think that we do struggle on the low block, and Sesko's a good answer for that. But when we're not struggling on the low block, when it's open play, we get caught in transition. What's Sesko and Gyokeres or Watkins going to do in a striking position when they have to defend in the transition, right? Because that really is our weakness.
Yeah.
Right? It's not really going forward, and defending's not bad. We had one of the best defense in the league. Right? Has got Golden Gloves 2 years in a row. It's just I think that no matter what striker we get, that's going to put Havertz in the midfield, and we get weaker. Right? We get weaker with him in the midfield. And then if we do, I see 4-4-2, Sesko and Havertz up front for 4-4-2. I don't have a big problem with that. It's better than
I mean, if we have him from the bench, if we're talking of Kai Havertz from the bench, okay, I hear Mikel Arteta. From that standpoint, okay, good. You do need to switch up one of the things we didn't do effectively last season was knowing when to switch things up effectively to gain advantage. Yeah. So if we do have him coming off from the bench to switch things up, I completely have no problem with that. Changing things to 4-4-2, having 2 strikers up top, with an ironclad midfield 4. It's not something bad, mostly when you have flying wingers, in that midfield 4 too, that can be able to help out when you're in search of goals. So I clearly don't have a problem with a 4-4-2 to switch things up rather than a lone striker trying to get things done, which is not a striker anyway. Because that striker has to do every other thing than being a sole striker in Mikel Arteta's team. So, it's 50-50 for me. But, yeah, one thing I do know is that off the bench, I have no problem with that. Because all these other teams have befitting players coming off from the bench to come help out. Look at Liverpool. Gravenberch came off from the bench most times last season before he became a mainstay. Endo, very dependable player from the bench, Conor Bradley from the bench. Who again? Kwanzaa from the bench. Bro,
Right.
Elliott from the bench at times. Bro, Nunes from the bench. You know, they have this kind of players that are not the it factor yet, but they could be able to bring in and help out, you know, in some cases. Yeah, but Arsenal, our bench is money on. It's useless. No structure. Sure. No, bro, it's just useless.
Well, I get it. No, it takes a full squad. It takes your reserves. It takes, you know, your subs off the bench. It takes a 19 to 22 man squad now to lift a title. I agree, because there's so many competitions that we have got some depth in. But, you know, God, Tony, I'm at the point now, it's just like we were linked to so many players, but no.
We're linked to so many, and it's just rubbish. It's just the journalists doing their thing, bro. We're not linked to all these players. I really do think that part of the problem we have with our football club is the press. The press is linking us to every Tom, Hick, and Harry.
Right.
Every Tom, Hick, and Harry is being linked to Arsenal, bro. We're linked to everyone, and we're not, bro, no activity. We're not doing anything, but we're being linked to all this place. So I think that this journalist here, they know how to use Arsenal's name to actually drive traffic to whatever they're doing. Because, bro, Nico Williams have been linked to Arsenal, and suddenly he's already, he's going to Barcelona. I'm even hearing that deal is as good as done. But I mean, what happened to the trail of journalists that spoke about this guy coming to Arsenal, Nico Williams? So I don't know, man. At this stage, I'm tired. I'm drained about it, man. Right. Shout out to AFC always. Big up to you. It says Tony and Oregon Goon.
Even open yet.
Yeah, that's an Oregon Goon. I love how you said that. Oregon Goon is a goon, you know. Big ups to you, AFC always. Yeah, Oregon Goon and Dal, yeah, just before you go, I just want to get your perspective on this. It could be a short sentence.
Sure.
Arrizabalaga, what do you think about that goalkeeper? Do you think it made sense to bring in a player who's not at par with David Raya? Obviously, David Raya has won the Golden Glove twice, you know, back-to-back seasons. So it is the one to beat, innit? But do you think this Arrizabalaga stuff is a manageable situation? Do you think it's someone that would still put that little push on David Raya? Do you see any competition in that signing in any way? Mind you, he might be the only player that goes to Singapore for our preseason up there.
Gotcha. I think, again, we're slapped in the face with a Chelsea reject. I mean, the talk of Gyokeres, Sesko, blah, 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 dominating the headlines. And then, Arsenal make a transfer. It's Kepa for $5 million. Who gives a fuck? We've bought 5 keepers in 4 windows. Stepford's fine. Bring the young kid in. If Arteta's big on bringing up young players and developing them, then why can't you develop Josh, this Stelford, whatever the kid's name. He's 19 years old. We bought him from Ajax last season. We've bought 5 keepers in 4 windows, Tony. I hope you know that. 5 keepers in 4 windows. To me, goalkeeping is far from the problem. I mean, do goalkeepers make mistakes? Yes, once in a while. But Raya has won the Golden Gloves 2 years in a row. I mean, all you got to do is play a keeper in some of the new keeper in some of the cup games, right? I mean, it's just. I know it's only $5 million, and people say, Kepa's decent, but he is what he is, bro. He was a Bournemouth for a reason.
Right.
Right? And I just think it's just another silly thing just to, pacify us. Right? We made a sign, and then social media blows up for 48 hours, and then it's all washed over. And again, it's a $5 million we're taking away from Gyokeres or Sesko. And if we're the budget bin guys, why are we spending $5 million on a keeper we don't need? It's so confusing, right? It's confusing the way we operate in the transfer window. And it is out of fear, like I think assembled or here, there mentioned. It's out of
Yeah,
fear.
it's out of fear. We're jittery, haggling, always haggling. Oh, bro, we're always haggling, we're always disputing other clubs' valuation of their players. We always want to tell them what their players are valued at. Bro, Arsenal knows how to insult these football clubs. We insult them. And we insult them right in their faces. But because I see how these football clubs do business with Man City, Man United. Bro, they don't insult these people, bro. Ours, we insult them. Bro, we insult these negotiators. We give them our own figures. And the figures are off. Bro, those figures are crazy figures.
Tens of millions off some cases. Yeah, no, you're right.
Bro, I mean, it's painful, bro. I can't even get my words out because I'm so pained in the way we do business. I'm so pained. It's a waste. We have no transfer plan. We're all over the place. We've been linked to 20 players. We've been linked to clowns and scrubs from different players, from different clubs. Bro, we have no transfer plans. The ones we even do have a shout at, we're destroying our chances in getting those ones that we do have a chance. The players that have said, oh, okay, we're going to come to Arsenal. We want to come to Arsenal. We've totally collapsed that negotiation. Bro, we're a laughing stock and we're all over the place. You know, I mean, it's painful at this point, man. Oregon Gunner, man. Oregon Gunner, last words before you leave the show. I mean, talk to these people. What do you want to see this coming week in the transfer window, man? Talk to these people before we go, brother.
I want to see big Victor Gyokeres sign the thing, first of all, for 70 mil.
Sign the thing.
Just sign the thing. I mean, he's come out and said that he wants Arsenal, so let's make it happen. I really want a new manager. I wish it was Christmas because I'd be asking Santa Claus for a new manager right now. Because I do believe that no matter what player we get, it's still going to follow this Arteta profile coaching type mold. And it's just so dumb. You know, just get Gyokeres, sign the thing, get us another midfielder, get us a winger, and I think it'll be a pretty decent window. But above all else, Tony, we need to make moves now, right? We cannot wait till August 10th and 12th and 14th and then get that big name in August 28th, right? We need to make moves now. City are already – they're doing a rebuild in one season, and it's taken us years to get a rebuild. How long did it take for us to get Emerald Smith Rowe out of the club? But I digress. So City moving, Liverpool moving. We haven't seen too much from United. I know they wanted Gyokeres, but he denied them, thank God. Corcos will play wide left. Oh, God, let's hope not. Left back. So I make a plea to Arteta and Berta, get the signings over the line. And that's pretty much all I have to say, Tony.
Yeah.
We're behind already.
Yeah.
You know, and it's heartbreaking again to see our rivals, City, which are, so-called rivals, make 3 very good signings. And you're right; those players
they might win the title next season. At this point, we can't lie to ourselves no more. They could take that title next season with the kind of players they're bringing in. Mamouche had his season last season. Is welcome to the league, and he performed real well. Cherky, you know what that guy is all about. He's cool. He's a cool player. Amori, one of the best left backs that this league has to offer. Bro, we're sitting on a keg of gunpowder, and when that keg of gunpowder blows up, it's gonna blow up on all Arsenal's faces, and you know who's gonna bear the brunt. The Arsenal fans are gonna cry again at the end of the season with no trophies. And this is what this club is doing.
They're going to get rid of Grealish and they're going to play Savinho more. So maybe Savinho will have a decent season, but they could still be in for another winger. You know, they could be in for this Nusa guy as well at RB Leipzig if he's supposed to be everything. And Semenyo was an option for them. So I don't think City are done, but already with 3 signings, 3 very good signings, they've already set the pace, and we're behind. we're already behind.
We're behind.
Right?
We are
End of the
behind.
man.
We
We're
are
behind.
behind. And again, Oregon, just before we go, I hate going into the season with unsettled defenders.
Right.
I really do think that we're keeping Saliba
Yep. We're keeping both Gabriel
beyond
and
his wishes. That's number one.
Mm,
And Calafiori was subject to an inquiry from AC Milan, as I heard.
right. Him and Zinchenko.
Yeah, from AC Milan, and Zinchenko too, from AC Milan too.
Yep.
I'm confused about that. I
Well,
hate going into a season with confused defenders. We
right.
do need someone who would come in and help us out. Someone just in case either Gabriel gets injured or Saliba gets his head turned in any way. We have someone who will seamlessly slot into that centre back position. I've heard of Gehi from Crystal Palace. But I mean, that's a big shout. But can Arsenal do the thing?
Is he going to want to come off the bench? That's the thing.
I leave that for you, man. I leave that for you.
If I'm Mark Gay, I'm not even looking at Arsenal. I mean, am I going to start? No. Okay. I mean, well, again,
AFC always says the season hasn't even started, and I already want it to end.
That's too funny.
Same feeling with me last season, man. I just wanted it to end. I wanted a breather. I mean, at Sakazin TV, taking the oh my days, man. Everyone just taking the absolute piss at me, bro. Oh my days. I had to go down to Northside show, and then my days, completely disgraced down there. It's I don't know, man.
Being a YouTuber, right? You got to put your.
I don't know. This is what supporting this club has done.
Yeah.
I mean, this makes you look like a clown. It is what it is. Oregon's gonna tell us what you got coming up, man. Let's play the day here, man. Great show. Great show.
Yeah, great show.
Great show today, man.
For having me on. Yeah, probably do a show with TJ, American Idiots, at 10 p.m. UK time.
Yeah, Friday.
He may have something going on. I'm not sure what's going on, but I'm off Thursday, Juneteenth. So big up that. So nice break in the week. Other than that, man, just hanging out, enjoying the summer vibes, and watching this transfer window like it's a fucking reality show. Reality TV, But no, big up again, Tony. All blessings. Have a great. I know you're going to be going to Nigeria soon, so go out there, be safe. Hopefully, we can sneak a show in one of these days before you take off. For weekends, I'm available. If you want to talk as well. Yeah, big up everyone in the chat. Big up Tony.
Definitely. We should have one or two shows.
YouTube Arsenal Nation. So fun show today, Tony. I'm pretty glad I made you speechless for once, asking where Kai was going to play, but that's neither here nor there. But other than that, have a good day.
Yeah, man. Yeah, people, Oregon Gunner, Tony Claude Gunner TV, and we are out. Peace, people. Peace.